guys, welcome to another episode of the Afro Millennial. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about how and why I think black people are disrespected all over the world. Right? So when I say black people, I'm talking about the skin color, like the race, the black race. I'm not talking about a particular community in one particular country. I'm being like general people with the dark skin tones. That's what I'm referring to as black people. So that's just to set the tone for today's conversation. So what made me pick this topic was I saw this TikTok video of a black lady talking about how Africans, she was specific, Africans are disrespected all over the world by other races or other people of color. So let's watch the video and continue the discussion after that.
So why did this girl post a TikTok of her asking a question? The question was, what is the first thing you think about when you hear about the continent of Africa? Why did this girl, who is from Syria, mind you, and if you don't know what's going on or what was going on or what is going to go on in Syria, go Google it. She literally laughs and she's like, poor. Oh, wait, no. Hungry, no food. Like, girl, no one's laughing but you and your idiot friends. It's just frustrating because for years, being an African woman, for years, we have gotten no respect from any POC. Obviously, not all POCs disrespect African people, but you know what I'm trying to say. There's no solidarity, there's no respect, there's no unification amongst POCs because no matter what, African people are going to be seen as the bottom of the barrel, and it's just not fair. We are getting more developed as we speak. We're not the same country we were however many years ago, so it's unfair that we are held to that low standard, and I refuse for that to happen. I'm tired of the stereotypes, I'm tired of the disrespect, and it's crazy that we're getting disrespect from countries that have the same problems, if not worse. Because let's be real, there's people in America who are poor and hungry, but they never get disrespected like people from Africa do. It's not fair. It's the same situation like what happened in Ukraine when Ukraine was going through that war and getting demolished and they needed help and support from everybody, but they still had time to be racist and not allow African people to ride their transit. Or like that one time during the whole coronavirus where African people were trying to go into restaurants in China and they were literally banned. It said on the paper, no African people allowed. Like, we can't win.
Okay, so in this video, she talks about how someone from Syria was making fun of Africa and how other people in different countries treat Africans poorly and all that. But I'm going to generalize. I don't think it's just Africans because there are people in Africa or some countries in Africa who do not have the black skin color or the dark skin color. Countries like Egypt, Algeria. I think the discrimination or the disrespect is specifically for people of dark skin tones. I think that's my take because I don't think people from North Africa who have the lighter skin tones, so who look more like Arabs, are disrespected as much as Africans, black Africans. So I'm not going to limit it to Africa. I'm going to generalize it to all black people, including people in the Caribbean who have the dark skin tone, people in Australia, like every country with every black person in the world. First, I think I'm just going to start talking about colorism. In every culture, I've seen that society prefers lighter skin tones than darker skin tones, and I'm not going to limit it to only white women. We see colorism even in Africa or in places with dark people, like the predominantly black people. That's why we hear things like skin bleaching and all that, because people just not want to associate. Maybe it's because of the other reasons, like because of the disrespect associated with the dark skin tone, they just want to leave. But I think that concept of colorism is what causes the disrespect, because if you think a lighter skin tone is better than a darker skin tone, then obviously you're going to respect someone who has a lighter skin tone than someone who has a darker skin tone. And I think that's ignorance, because you can't choose to respect or disrespect somebody based on skin color. It doesn't make sense, but that's what I think is going on here. I'm sure it's all related to people say white supremacy and how the cultures were. But even before then, even cultures that are not influenced by white culture, or cultures that were able to protect themselves from being influenced by white people, still have that. Like I know the Asians have that. They prefer light skin tones, like they associate lighter skin tones with beauty and darker skin tones with like It's there. In Africa, we see that like people. That's why people bleach in Africa, and of course in the West or where the white people live, it's even more pronounced because if you're a black person there, you are like the minority, so you feel it more. Apart from that, during the era of slavery, colonization, when people were taking over, conquering places and discovering new continents and countries and areas and all that, to make themselves feel better or to sell their achievements or their discoveries to people that, yeah, we found this and this is what we are doing is good, they make the people look less human. So, oh, these people are like, look at them, they are so dark, they are close to animals, they did nothing wrong, we are going to save them. They don't deserve, like, they can't live by themselves. So that kind of justification for bad treatment, that even with slavery, like, they justify themselves that these people are not as human as we are. So like, they push these narratives just to justify the things that they did, or like, I don't know if I'm using the right words, but I feel like it's just a justification for the things they wanted to do. So this is another reason, like, I think white people don't respect the black race. Lastly, this may be a bit controversial, but I think we don't respect each other. I don't know how, whether it's an outside influence or we've always been like that, but when you look at black communities everywhere, black countries, there's always violence against, like, within the communities. If you hear about gang shootings in the US or in the UK, it's always like black people against black people. In Africa, black communities attacking black. Maybe the media pushes these news narratives more just to make things worse than they look, but I think that's what's going on, because if we don't respect each other, we shouldn't expect other people to respect us. Because if people are watching black people kill each other, fighting against each other all the time, they go like, well, these people don't even respect each other, so what's there to respect to it? Look at how our leaders behave. Now I'm going to African leaders to be precise. They don't want to be held accountable. They are not accountable to their own people, but when they travel outside to Western countries especially, or predominantly white people, or they meet other leaders who are white, their behavior is different. It's like they want to please those people who voted for you at home or in your home country. You don't want to be accountable to them, you want to be held accountable by them. Yet you go to another country, you want to do the bidding of those whites or other leaders. Like, it doesn't make sense. And all of these things, people see it and it doesn't call for respect. That's what I think. I'm not saying what they are doing is right. I think we should look within and start working from within. Like, because if you don't respect each other, we shouldn't respect much respect from other people. Let's start working within ourselves, within black communities, within black countries, to gain that kind of respect we want from everybody. That's if we want it, right? I'm assuming that everybody wants to be respected. So if we are complaining that we are being disrespected all over, then we should start working on ourselves and work on how we relate to each other. It's always black Americans against black Africans. They don't like us. Africans say black Americans don't like them, they respect them, and it's always like that. And even within Africa, it's there everywhere. Like the Caribbeans have. I'm going to make a video on how why black people can't stand each other in that way. But if we don't get over this, I think it will be hard to get other people to show us the level of respect we want, right? So the lady in the video talked about development and all that. Given our resources, given the things we have, we should have been able to develop way more than these other countries making fun of us. But we have not been able to. Why have we not been able to? Yes, we can blame it on the white people, we can blame it on colonialism, we can blame it on any other thing, but I think before we start blaming other people, let's start looking within and let's start trying to fix the problem from within before, because we've blamed people for a long time and we've not seen any improvement, or we've not seen much improvement. So this is the time to look within and work from within. I like to see these Pan-African movements talk about these things and like unity and all that. Yes, if we want to be respected, we have to form a united front and do the right thing within ourselves, amongst ourselves, before we start going out. Because right now, if we are saying other people of other races are doing this, people of other races are doing that, and we ourselves are not united, one person is saying this, one group is saying that, like, then we are not going anywhere, right? So that's what I think the biggest issue is. But anyway, I'm going to leave it here. This is, as usual, I just bring points to start the conversation, and I look forward to your comments in the comment section. Why do you think Africans are being disrespected? It's not a current thing, it's been there in ancient times. Why do you think people of dark skin color disrespected so much? Was it there before all the colonization and slavery and all that started? Or did it only start after people discovered lands or communities of dark skinned people and started pushing that narrative? Let me know what you think in the comment section, and let me know how you think we can solve it. What I'm saying is just my opinion. So I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear the things you have to say, like how you think we're going to get over all the disrespect as a race together, or whether you think that's the way to go. Yes, I hope you found it interesting enough to join the conversation. So yeah, thank you again for joining me in today's episode, and I hope to see you in my next episode. Bye bye.